Somewhere in a remote containment facility, a door stands sealed with 17 layers of reinforced steel. Behind it sits a creature. It doesn't move. It doesn't eat. It barely breathes. It just sits there, hunched, face buried in its hands as if it is waiting for something to happen. And as long as nobody sees its face, everything is safe. But someone, somewhere in the world, just looked at a photograph. And now, it's already standing up. Welcome to the Dark Archive. Today we open the file on SCP-096, Object Class Euclid. Euclid simply means unpredictable. And there is nothing on this planet more unpredictable than what happens when SCP-096 sees you looking at it. According to Foundation records, SCP-096 is a humanoid creature. Approximately 2.38 meters tall. That's nearly 8 feet. Its body is almost grotesquely thin. Skin pale white, stretched tight over bones. Foundation researchers estimate its weight at only 54 kilograms despite its height. Its arms are notably wrong. Too long. Disproportionate to its body in a way that makes every photograph of it deeply unsettling. But none of that is what makes SCP-096 one of the most feared entities in Foundation custody. What makes it dangerous is its face. Researchers are forbidden from describing it in detail. All visual documentation is classified at level 4 and above. What we do know is this. Anyone who sees the face of SCP-096, whether in person, in a photograph, or even a low-resolution image captured by satellite, triggers what the Foundation calls an SCP-096-1 event. And once that event begins, there is no stopping it. Let's talk about what actually happens. Step by step. The moment someone views SCP-096's face, the creature, which may have been completely motionless for days or even weeks, suddenly reacts. It begins to cry. Not metaphorically. Literally, as if it is in pain, deep pain. It produces loud, distressed vocalizations, moaning, screaming, a sound that Foundation personnel describe as unlike anything human. Its behavior escalates rapidly. It claws at its own face. It paces. It throws itself against walls. This phase lasts between 1 and 2 minutes. And then, it stops. And it starts running. SCP-096 will travel, by any means necessary, to the exact location of whoever viewed its face. It doesn't matter where they are. In a bunker, on a ship, in another country. It doesn't matter. Foundation tests have confirmed this. A researcher accidentally viewed a partial image of SCP-096's face from over 4,000 kilometers away. SCP-096 breached containment within minutes. It crossed oceans. It did not stop. Nothing stopped it. Standard ammunition does nothing. Reinforced barriers destroyed. Military intervention unsuccessful. When SCP-096 finally reaches its target, the Foundation's clinical report simply states SCP-096-1 instance is terminated. What remains is described only as a small amount of flesh and bone. That's all that's left. And after it's done, SCP-096 sits down, buries its face in its hands, and waits again. as if nothing happened. So how does the Foundation contain something like this? 96 is kept in a sealed, airtight steel cube, 5 meters by 5 meters, reinforced with 3 separate locking mechanisms. All Foundation personnel entering the containment area are required to wear opaque, full-face coverings, not just to avoid looking at SCP-096, but to ensure that in any reflective surface, no accidental glimpse is possible. Absolutely zero visual equipment is allowed inside the containment chamber. No cameras, no recording devices, no mirrors. Any photos or video footage containing the image of SCP-096's face, even captured accidentally, are immediately classified and digitally destroyed. The Foundation learned this the hard way. In one incident, a junior researcher was reviewing security footage from a routine inspection. A single frame, less than 1 second, contained a partial image of SCP-096's face. The researcher didn't even realize what they had seen. SCP-096 did. The containment breach that followed resulted in the loss of 11 Foundation personnel before SCP-096 was recontained. The researcher was among them. This is why the Foundation's containment protocols for SCP-096 are among the strictest for any Euclid-class entity. Because the most dangerous thing about SCP-096 isn't its strength. It's the fact that you might have already seen its face, and not even know it yet. Now let's talk about the incidents. Because the Foundation file on SCP-096 isn't just cold clinical data. There are stories buried in these reports. Incident 096-1-A. A commercial satellite conducting a geographical survey of a remote mountain range captured a wide-angle image. The image was used in a publicly available mapping application. Zoomed in to maximum level, it revealed a tiny figure seated in the snow. 14 users of that application zoomed in far enough to see it. All 14 were dead within 6 hours. The Foundation traced the breach after detecting anomalous high-speed movement across 3 countries. By the time retrieval teams arrived at the final location, SCP-096 was already sitting down again. All that remained of the 14 victims was consistent with previous SCP-096-1 events. The mapping application was taken offline within the hour. All cached versions scrubbed. 2 Foundation agents embedded in the tech company ensured the data never surfaced again. Incident 096-1-C. A military unit in a classified location was testing new long-range surveillance equipment. During a field test, one soldier captured what appeared to be an anomalous humanoid figure in a valley. The image was distributed to 7 team members for analysis. SCP-096 breached containment 22 minutes later. The Foundation retrieved SCP-096 from the location 4 hours after the breach. The military unit's equipment was destroyed. All records classified. No survivors. These incidents reveal something deeply unsettling about SCP-096. It doesn't matter how briefly you saw the face. It doesn't matter if you knew what you were looking at. It doesn't matter if it was an accident. Once seen, you are already marked. You are already dead. Here's what the Foundation still doesn't know, and this is what keeps researchers awake at night. Question 1. How does it know? SCP-096 has no known sensory organs capable of detecting when its face has been viewed. It has no eyes facing outward during its dormant state. No known telepathic or psychic capabilities on record. Yet, The moment someone sees its face, anywhere in the world, it knows. Instantly. The Foundation has no explanation for this. Question 2. What is it? SCP-096 is humanoid, but not human. Its biology is unlike any known species. Its bone structure is wrong. Its muscle density is inconsistent with its physical capabilities. Foundation researchers have attempted genetic analysis. The results were inconclusive, and 3 of the 4 researchers involved in the study requested immediate reassignment after reviewing the findings. Their reports remain classified at Level 5. Question 3. What does its face look like? This is the question everyone asks, and the honest answer is, the Foundation doesn't want you to know, not because it's classified, but because every researcher who has attempted to formally describe SCP-096's face in writing has, without exception, exhibited severe psychological deterioration within 72 hours. As if simply recalling the image in enough detail to describe it is enough. The Foundation's current working theory is that SCP-096's face represents what they call a cognitohazard, a concept or image that causes direct neurological damage simply by being perceived. In other words, its face isn't just scary, it's fundamentally wrong. Wrong in a way the human brain cannot process and survive intact. The Foundation's file on SCP-096 ends with a single note added by the lead researcher. It reads, "The greatest containment risk for SCP-096 is not a physical breach. It is information. Every person who knows this entity exists is a potential trigger event. Every photograph ever taken in a remote location is a potential exposure. We are not just containing a creature. We are containing an idea. And ideas are very hard to lock away." SCP-096 is sitting in its cell right now, face in its hands, waiting. Somewhere in the world, an old photograph sits in a forgotten hard drive. A satellite image sits in an unchecked database. A single frame sits in archived security footage that nobody has reviewed in years. And somewhere, someone is about to open a file they probably shouldn't. This has been Dark Archive. The files are always watching.